something, she'd have typed right. If she was calling me for something, she would have typed it up.
Right, usually,
And you are all checked in.
that's not good for me.
So somebody harassing her probably.
I honestly, I don't know, but Dove has no idea about any of that, and that's not her phone number. And most generally, text messages are not appropriate. Not an appropriate form of communication for the most part.
I agree, because then you take,
that's
not necessarily you, but most people take things wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, see, I have a lot of stuff like this happen. People will look up my friends and family, they'll make fake accounts pretending to be my friends and family, or...
Yeah, I don't know how that would have happened though, but yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, but I would continue to communicate with that phone number.
I'm definitely not going to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, I did.
Well, she said it's not her phone number and that she didn't call me. That there is a Dove Rainbow who works here, but she didn't call me and she doesn't know why people would have called me. So,
Okay, so
yeah, I'm used to that.
right here.
Alright. I was hoping you'd have sat there with me and heard it, but
Okay.
I got it recorded at least. I think. There was part of it I had to turn it off, but
Well, we were able to get to the bottom of that one.
yeah, now I got to turn it in. That's what sucks, is that this stuff has been going on for years and they pretend that I'm making it up. Like, I showed Jared the stuff the other day. Did I show you the messages yesterday? Yeah. So, I mean, it's obvious somebody did call claiming to be Rainbow Dove. Or claiming that they were trying to get a hold of me. And you see, that's one of the things about having to make it on YouTube, is that then people are like, oh, well, you know, I want to fuck with him, so let's look up some of this stuff and then be a dickhead.
Yeah. All right. So now what?
I don't know. This is definitely the place to explain that I can't take care of myself, but then again, you've only had to deal with, like, one of my panic attacks. You haven't had to
See,
deal
my
with
doctor's in
anything.
there.
Yours?
Yeah. This is where I come to see my doctor.
Well, you guys and Jared and Scott have all had to deal with me having a panic attack over stuff not getting turned in, how scary it is. This is the aftermath of it. Like, when I have panic attacks, I understand they scare people off, but I'm too scared to function, and that just sucks. My own family didn't really understand autism. They just understand retardation and drug use. So...
No, we got autism and Downs in our terrorist side of the family.
Yeah, you know what I noticed about her? She's highly intelligent. That's not me making
No,
fun of
not
her for
really.
marrying you or anything like that.
Not really.
Because she married you?
Yep.
Yeah, I did every favor.
California girl marrying a hick. Okay.
See, now I totally get that. You know, down in California, it's a different groove. Once you get somewhere like Nebraska or fucking Oregon, or even Washington State, it's a much lazier groove, unless you're in Seattle. Fuck that place. Oh my God. Um, I don't know. I usually try to meet him somewhere that's neutral ground. Um, I don't know. I remember the name of the officer that I spoke with yesterday. It's in my
it's
wallet.
hard.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we could go to the library and I can set up my computer and we can call him.
Okay, you want me to be closer towards the back of the library where you?
I was thinking in one of the meeting rooms
Okay.
because keeping
you
my
need
car
to
running
call him
is a
and see
pain.
if he will accept it today or what. Also,
That's true. Well, no, not really, because he was supposed to come back yesterday. But as far as him doing his job, he's still got to do it. If he's not there today, that's different. But
yeah.
the issue still stands and it needs to be investigated. The other thing is, because of my disability, somebody needs to explain to them I am disabled. I literally can't take care of myself. And somebody needs to be actively there and present when I make a report to the police, especially here. Because of the way they blow me off, like literally every single time, including every time with Farnsworth, like somebody needs to explain to them that I'm not just making shit up. You know, like Farnsworth does exist. They've probably had him in there.
He's been in jail several times.
Yeah. Well, he just got out, and then I saw him down at McDonald's. That created a safety issue for me there that resulted in me having a panic attack, but I kept my panic attacks to outside in my car. It was when there was some hicks inside of the building that were talking about, getting illegal firearms and shooting people, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
Oh yeah, the government actually was saying that it was on TV that Twitter was posting, get a gun and start shooting Christians.
I can see that happening too, because the thing is, most of the Christians that I know are not Christians. They're judgmental assholes who do it in Jesus' name, because then people are less likely to look at them and blame them. Oh no, he's a Christian. She could never do that. She's a believer in Christ our Lord.
Well, what brought it up was a transgender person went into a Christian school and shot 3 9-year-old, a boy and 2 girls, and then shot 3 adults also.
Yep, and she also attended that school.
Because they're trying to prosecute the transgender, they're telling all the transgender to get a gun and shoot Christians.
You know what? That thought has crossed a lot of people's minds, not just transgender though.
Well, I got a gun and I'm a Christian.
But you don't go pointing it at people. Well, that's the point, is that we are being killed. And I don't consider myself a part of the LGBT community because they don't. But I'm non-sexual. And I actually do fit under their qualifications.
I got friends that are gay. I got friends that are...
But they don't go shooting at you.
Change, all that. I don't care. Really, I don't care. That is their preference. They have to answer to the Lord when it comes time. Not me. I don't have to be judgmental. It says I'm not to judge.
You know how I get when I have a panic attack, how I can't communicate straight and my words are too fast? That's how I am when I have to go talk to them alone. And that's one of the reasons for having somebody go in, is so they hear what's going on and I have a witness. On the bright side, I at least recorded part of it this time and I can post it
I
up.
was sitting there listening.
I kind of figured you were close enough, but and everybody else was close enough. I just wasn't sure how well your hearing was. I would have heard it from there, but not very well.
I'm always listening for snapping branches and stuff.
Yeah, me too, but not quite the same. I did my hunting mostly in Nebraska. One of the things is, if I go to the library, now that I have a library card and I've had somebody go in there with me, I guess I could get started there and I could probably call them from there and explain what was going on.
Okay.
The thing is, it's just anything that I have to do alone ends up being a pain. Because if, like I said, I have to have a witness, and if I don't have a witness, they give me the mentally ill treatment, which is what they gave me about the Molly situation and the Farnsworth situation. Or you should just let it go because he's mentally ill. I'm like, I get called mentally ill as an excuse to railroad me, and I don't think that it's okay that Farnsworth is getting railroaded over the same thing. He's definitely got some of the issues they accuse me of having, but
See, he's known Kara for ever since she moved up here. Because him and his brother knew Kara, and then when his brother died, he went downhill.
yep, you're not the first person to tell me that either. But a lot of
But
people
I've
told me
known
he
his
wasn't
whole
violent.
family. I've known his aunt, his cousins. I've known his other aunt. I know his mom. Yeah. I've known him all my life, pretty much, I guess, and I didn't know it, and now he's just really. I can't stand to be around him.
Well, I when I needed to turn him in, he did multiple things at the churches, like actually on the church property, in sight and sound of everybody there, and they didn't do anything, even though they're mandated reporters, and they don't quite understand that I am an at-risk adult, but people don't get that, but they don't look at my situation and go, yeah, he's fucked. You know, he does need assistance. I mean, obviously, me sleeping in my vehicle gets 10 times worse.
All right,
So what do you think? Should I go to the library and try calling from there?
you can. I'm gonna stop and get me breakfast real quick.
Yes, sir. I got food stamp card, that's it, but they didn't seem to have a microwave inside of the Safeway.
No, they don't.
I got a little bit of cash. I got about 90 bucks to live on, so I'm trying to save it for gas and also for some of the body camera evidence I got to get from the cops. With the library, I can do most of it, but like I said, that's always my last ditch effort just because it's so easy to get kicked out of one.
Yeah.
As far as you guys not having access to all the great and mighty electronics technology that we have today, that makes it a pain in the butt too. I've literally bought people computers to help me with this, and they left me in the dust. You know, so I'm overwhelmed with buying electronics.
I don't need electronics. I got my phone and that's about it.
Yeah.
So,
Plus the stuff that I needed you for, it's really just the fact that you were there for multiple situations. Now with this guy calling me from this bogus number and harassing me and having multiple ones, those need to be turned in too. And that's one of the things I got to call that guy about, because it wasn't just that lady. It's multiple people that were doing this and still are.
you know what I have figured out?
They're lazy.
No. Don't indulge in the social media.
Well, it's not just a matter of indulging in the social media. It's the fact that I can't contact any of my friends or family, and I can't get the help that I need as a disabled adult without a friend or family stepping in and saying, hey, this is fucked up.
Oh
Somebody
no,
needs
I
to
mean
listen
like
to
the
'em."
Twitter or the pages and all that. It just feeds into everybody else playing along.
Well, that's one of the things about not having Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I make sure I steer clear of all that stuff. The stuff that I use is Facebook, because that's where all my friends and family were and a lot of the evidence is. And also I use YouTube because a lot of the stuff I have to make sure that there's evidence of it. But with all my electronics full, I have to record it on YouTube and try to save it there, which really sucks.
And then people can see it.
Sometimes. Most of the time I don't make it so, like if it's an important call that has like, all right, for example, if it's got phone numbers and social security numbers in it, it might be on YouTube, but it's on unlisted, so only certain people will have access to it. The problem is the most condemning stuff that I have is all unlisted. A lot of the evidence that I have as far as my friends went, they just want to throw assumptions at me. They don't look at any of the evidence, so they can't speak up for any of it. So then when I try to turn it in, I get the same treatment that I got here, the same treatment that I get by the police. They talk over me and tell me I have to go somewhere else, and I need to go to this resource, and I need to go to that resource, and I need to try for housing. And I don't mind applying for housing, but I have to stay outside of town because of the situations between Molly and Farnsworth and all of the churches.
Actually, no. Once you get into housing, if they come around, you can get them for
The problem is I have to get into housing, and I can't get into housing because of the situation that happened in Nebraska, where I literally had to break windows in order to get the cops to do their jobs about people threatening to kill me and assaulting me in chapel. That's the thing. Once Natalie got her brains blown out, a lot of really bad people use that as an excuse to target me and my loved ones. It'd be like if somebody was coming up to you and telling you they're going to kill you, and every other day somebody's
I'd
texting
say
you telling.
go for it, because I'll be the one killing you first.
Well, see, I told him to go for it, and I did not threaten to kill him back. And
Oh,
you know
well,
what?
I do. I don't have a
It
problem.
it took me. All right, so they were accusing me of threatening to kill him or threatening to harm him when I was in Virginia visiting Natalie in 2016, and she got all fucked up on heroin, and her mom found her heroin on my birthday. And, you know, obviously she's an embarrassed 18-year-old. She just turned into adulthood. She's still dependent on her mom, who's one of her abusers. You know, it just, the whole situation sucked. But when I left there, that should have been the end of it. Instead, she went spreading rumors across the phone to her friends in Boulder, who made my life hell so I couldn't see my friends and family in Boulder. I went to Chapel, Nebraska. I tried to ignore the situation. The only time I ever got a hold of her was to say, hey, people are treating me like I'm a child molester or a rapist. What the fuck is this? I need you to call off the dogs. And she didn't believe that people were threatening me. Meanwhile, I didn't have the ability to record or take screenshots at that point. So I went to every service I was supposed to. They made me fill out a bunch of paperwork and go to these appointments that I have to go to every single week. You know, this is what it is. When a disabled and a homeless male tries to get help, he's given the runaround. And without a friend or family there, that's all I'll get. And that's one of the things with Kara. She went in and she stood with me and she did a lot of the talking. She knows her shit. The thing is, like, situations like this, these people are obviously organized in the fact that they're looking up doctors' names, they're looking up stuff like that, so they can try to, because they know I'm gonna look it up, you know. So of course they wanna try to make it sound like it's something where it's some friend of mine or some doctor that I'm trying to talk to or some other doctor, so they can try to coax me into giving them information. And this is only a part of the way that I've been getting taken advantage of for the last 6 years. When she got her brains blown out, I was trying to take her to court. The cops have been blowing me off. My friends have been blowing me off. When I explained I needed people to go in with me, like, they didn't go in. When I was getting taken advantage of by housing, nobody would investigate that. That's one of the things I was showing Jared. All the places that I've been, I showed him my hospital paperwork from Clearview. And then I showed him the news articles and the news stuff on Clearview. I was like, see, I was really there. The doctors that are in trouble literally wrote their names on my paperwork. The stuff that they're in trouble for is literally the stuff that I claim they did to me. And they didn't get in trouble for none of that until 2019. I told them on them in 2018. They killed Tibor Hatay in 2017. And then they're in the news for covering up his murder in 2019. It took them that long. And the same thing with Waylon Lolatai. I was able to show him that. You know, one of the things is I get treated like I'm making everything up, and that's why it's important for people to look at evidence who can speak up that they saw it. So I guess I should probably drive over to the library, otherwise I'm going to waste all your time and you won't get anything done. If you have to go, you can let me know too.
I just got to be to the dump by, what did they say? They close at 4.
All right. What time is it now?
Load up the trailer and then I gotta take it to the dump. It doesn't take long to unload it, but it takes a while to load it.
Yes, sir. And driving out there. See, that's one of the things about poor people, going to poor people for help. They say, I can't help, I'm poor. I'm like, you can speak up because you're poor. You can also speak up because you were a witness to various situations. That's one of the things that, you know, the police kept on not doing their jobs. They should have tried contacting you guys, and they didn't. And that's been the way it is literally since before Natalie was killed. They tell me it's somebody else's job. Or like the other day when they showed up, they didn't stop to listen or to look at evidence or to actually take it seriously. The moment I started telling him witnesses' names and people that were involved, he stopped writing things down. He just wanted my name and number. And that was Officer Trent Olson. So I guess I'm gonna drive back over there to the library. I guess I'll get a room up there and I'll let them know that you're coming in. That way they can tell you which room I'm at. Or fuck, I got a phone. You got a phone. What the hell? I don't have to do that.
But yeah, make sure the officer is going to actually be there.
Well, that's one of the things is I won't be able to make sure the officer will actually be there. That's what sucks is that without my own place, it makes it, I have to spend time running around all these places, wasting time, wasting gas for a hope that they might. That's one of the things about coming here with somebody is finding out whether or not that stuff was true, and then, of course, speaking up to the cops. Now, I got the recording of it so I can show it. The problem is meeting the cops one-on-one is a bad idea always. And the other thing is I need help turning in these cops. So the one that I talked to, he is one of the ones who I've had a major issue with, which is why I'm trying to get a hold of him. But I'll go there and I'll call him up and see what's available, I guess. I'll probably set up my computer so by the time I call, it'll already be set up.
Yeah.
I had to give you time to eat. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Be safe.
Never.
Yep. You can kind of see my patience. A lot of people, when they threaten to kill somebody immediately, or talk about killing people immediately, saying I've got to this and I've got to that, and obviously I'm not one of those people. How many years of threats did I take before I threatened anybody back? A lot. Well, Natalie Bollinger and her family wanted to pretend like I threatened to kill them and threatened to harm them and all sorts of other shit. There's literally zero evidence of it. Literally none. But it didn't matter. Because as soon as she told that lie in Virginia, people started harming me and people started telling different lies. And you can see that on her final public post. Anyway, I'm going to end this and move back down to the library. Might get something to eat along the way myself.